Hey, we're Dawes. Our album Nothing Is Wrong is out now, and you can find it on our website, dawestheband.com. This group of songs for this record it's been really easy to tune on. I think a big part of it's because we were playing them live long before. The focus from North Hills to Nothing Is Wrong shifted pretty naturally and easily. And I feel like with a lot of bands, their second record or some follow-up record, they'll decide to kind of change it up and become this different band, and then all of a sudden when you look they play one song from an earlier record and they play another song from their new record, and it just kind of, you feel like you're seeing two different shows. And I feel like with Dawes, there's probably some definite changes and different qualities between records, but I think for the most part pretty similar band, for both records. So it wasn't that weird to hear us going from material people were familiar with to this new stuff, because I feel like it's coming from that same place.
What you're doing it for? Oh, it's a little bit of everything. It's the mountains, it's the fog, it's the news at 6 o'clock, it's the death of my first dog.
A little bit of everything. Barely made the album because it wasn't written when we went in. It wasn't even started. It was like I had like a note in my notebook just with that line, a little bit of everything, and I thought, oh, this could be an interesting idea for a song where you take this one phrase and you use it to explain different people's situations, being them like pretty dismal or really great, and breaking it down into that just down to that phrase, and then what the implications would be in terms of like how well you choose to describe something, or just like what you make of it being how it actually is. It was sort of, I thought it was kind of fascinating. And when I started writing it, I was showing the guys and our producer, and like, hey, this is a new song I'm working on. They said we should finish it and we could put it on the record, and it ended up I finished it, and we arranged it and played it on the record like that day. So that song had never been played on stage before it was recorded. It was very last minute, and I'm really glad that we got it done in time. I do think there's some Californian influences. I think there's a lot of other influences on the record. The only thing that we get scared of is that when people say this is an LA band or this is a California band, for the listeners that have never been to California or LA, we would hate for that to bring in some sort of preconceived judgment, and like, or if they don't like LA or California, saying I'm not gonna like this band because I don't like the Beach Boys or I don't like Tom Petty. It's like, well, that wouldn't necessarily be fair, or I just don't like the city, So we definitely try to keep it from, we don't want to be representatives necessarily, but we're not gonna deny the fact that we come from there, and it's left its mark.
You don't seem to be having any fun at all. She says you just worry about your groomsmen and your shirt size. And rest assured that this is making me feel good.
The relationship we have with our crowds and audiences has been amazing. Like, really fun shows. Like, people say, like, oh, when your guys are up on stage and smiling and acting like fools and, like, jumping around and stuff, is that because that's the show that you put on? And that's totally not the case at all. Like, if I'm not having a good time, you could tell. But like, if we're on stage and we're smiling and obviously enjoying the show, then that's because we're really having a good time, and it always comes from the fans and them like really giving it back.
We did some playing with Robbie Robertson too, which was pretty surreal, considering that the band was like one of at least my favorites growing up.
Yeah.
We got to stand on stage and sing Turn 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 with Pete Seeger last summer at Newport.
And then Ben Montench played some songs on our album, and being in the same room with, member of the Heartbreakers, and him being like, "It's a cool song, man, and I'm happy to be playing on it." It's just, it was beyond our dreams.
It's not some message written in the dark or some truth that no one's seen. It's just a little bit of everything.